Alright people, so welcome to Jumbo IAS and welcome to UPSC Prelims Phoenix batch. In this batch, we revise the entire syllabus for UPSC Prelims examination. We cover both the static portion as well as current affairs. Now, current affairs series is going on parallelly, but today's lecture is part of our static series. And within our static series, you are well versed with the schedule, okay, the timetable. Within the static series, we are currently undergoing or covering modern history. And today is day 3 for modern history, and your today's targets for modern history were socio-religious reform movements. Now, socio-religious reform movement is a detailed topic and is a highly probable topic. Okay, questions can be asked from this portion, therefore we need to cover it properly. Now, I'm expecting that since the notes were shared with you in advance, you have already gone through the notes. After going through the notes, that was your revision number 1 from this topic of modern history. Now you are sitting for this lecture, and this lecture would amount to revision number 2, because we are going to revise the entire topic of socio-religious reform movement through a set of 30 MCQs. All right then? Okay then. Without further delay, without further ado, let's straight away dive into the lecture. All right, let's begin. So modern history day 3, and these are, or this topic is our target for today. Socio-religious reforms. Okay, now this includes mostly the 19th century reforms, and that includes all the religions, not just the Hindu reform movements, but well, Parsis, Singh Sabha movement, Muslim reform movement, everything. Okay then, let's start with question number 1. Consider the following statements regarding 19th century Indian society. The socio-religious reform movements adopted a completely secular approach from their inception. Indian social reformers sought to regenerate traditional knowledge exclusively through the medium of Western languages. All right then. You see, the 19th century Indian society, in that socio-religious reform movement sought to reform our religions. Okay, and the society that was developed out of that religion. How can it be secular? It cannot be. Okay, so this is false. Plus, the Indian social reformers wanted to use vernacular languages so that it can reach maximum people, because Western languages were only known to a handful of people. Okay, so most socio-religious reformers, they basically opted for using local vernacular languages to spread their teachings. Okay, so this is also false. The answer would come out to be, which are incorrect. So both are incorrect. The answer is C. This is very important, correct, incorrect, okay? Always be mindful of this. Okay, so question number 2. Consider the following statements. Atmiya Sabha was founded as a precursor to Brahmo Samaj. Brahmo Samaj had a definite doctrinal position on karma and transmigration of soul. Okay, Radhakant Dev supported the Brahmo Samaj and its reformist agenda. Now you see, Brahmo Samaj was not called Brahmo Samaj from the very beginning. It was founded as Atmiya Samaj in 1840. And its idea was use rationalism in religion. Okay, rational thought in religion, reinterpret religious scriptures in the light of new enlightenment rationalism. Okay, so this was their idea. So Brahmo Samaj was founded by Raja Ram Mohan Roy. Now, Brahmo Samaj was opposed to idol worship, it was opposed to sati pratha, everything. Every social evil, well, Brahmo Samaj was opposed to that. Now, Brahmo Samaj talked about including rationalism in interpreting religion or ancient religious scriptures. Now, it was very difficult for them to scientifically or rationally explain the idea of karma or transmigration of souls. Okay, that is why they neither opposed nor completely accepted the concept of transmigration of soul. Okay, so that is why they maintained a neutral stance. If you want to believe in this, believe in it. If you don't believe in it. So they did not have a definite position. They had a neutral stance, agnostic position. So this is false. Now, Brahmo Samaj was opposed to so many religious practices. It was. And that is why, because of the success of Brahmo Samaj, there was a reaction from the conservative right. And in that reaction, well, there was this famous personality called Radhakant Dev, who established Dharma Samaj. Okay, Dharma Samaj, well, it was created to oppose the reformist agenda of Brahmo Samaj. They were not opposed to sati pratha, they were not opposed to idol worship. They, in fact, opposed Brahmo Samaj opposition to that. So this is also false. Only one statement is correct. It was a reactionary movement from the Hindu right. Next. Which of the following works were authored by Jyotiba Phule? Gulamgiri, Darpan, Tritya Ratna, Kavya Phule. Now look, Jyotiba Phule was basically a social reformer of 19th century from the state of Maharashtra. And his social reformist agenda, well, centered around depressed classes or depressed castes and women. He worked for their upliftment. Clear? Now, he wrote various books. One was Gulamgiri. In Gulamgiri, he basically displayed a parallel between the black Africans of America and the lower castes of India, how similar their treatment was. Okay? Slavery and all, how black Africans were slaves at one point of time. Similarly, depressed castes in India are also being treated like that. So, he drew parallels between the two communities. So, he wrote Gulamgiri. He also wrote a play on the plight of downtrodden castes called Tritiya Ratna. Okay. Now, Darpan was basically a newspaper that was written by someone else. It was not Jyotiba Phule. And Kavya Phule was actually a set of poems written by Savitri Bai Phule, his wife, not Jyotiba Phule. Okay, so the answer would be 1 and 3 only, Tritiya Ratna and Gulamgiri. Tritiya Ratna was a play showing the plight of depressed castes. Clear? So the answer is C. Next. Consider the following pairs, the organization and associated personality with it. So Native Improvement Society, Bal Shastri Jambhekar. By the way, Bal Shastri Jambhekar was the one who came out with this newspaper called Darpan. This newspaper. Okay, it was Bal Shastri Jambhekar. Deccan Education Society, Social Service League, Seva Sadan. Now look, Native Improvement Society for the Improvement of Indians was definitely started by Bal Shastri Jambhekar. The Deccan Education Society was started by Bal Gangadhar Tilak, Agarkar, and Chiplunkar, these three people. Okay, it was not Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar because, well, the name is Deccan Education Society. It worked for people in Deccan. Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar was a Bengali. He was from Bengal. So this is not true. Social Service League was not started by Dadoba Pandurang. Social Service League was started by various other people. Okay. Seva Sadan was started by B.M. Malabari. Okay. Social Service League was started by N.M. Joshi. So this is also false. The answer is only 1 and 4. Alright. Next. Okay. This is the description of a famous personality, socio-religious reformer, and then who is he? The 4 options. So he worked for the upliftment of women and lower caste. I have already mentioned this to you. Was a victim of child marriage himself. Started a home to prevent female infanticide and support rape victims. And was influenced by Thomas Paine's book, Rights of Man. He was honored with the title of Mahatma. And his name was Mahatma Jyotiba Phule. Okay. This was the life of Mahatma Jyotiba Phule. He worked towards the upliftment of women, and women not just from lower caste, upper caste women as well, and lower caste people. Okay, so the answer is B. Next. Consider the following statements about Ram Manohar Lohia. He advocated intercaste marriages among government servants. He was associated with Congress Socialist Party and Secret Congress Radio. He was a contemporary of Jayaprakash Narayan. Now, Ram Manohar Lohia was basically an Indian socialist. Okay, socialism is an ideology, but it was given an Indian taste, known as Samajwad. There is a political party also named after it, Samajwadi Party in Uttar Pradesh. So Samajwad was given by Ram Manohar Lohia. This Samajwad was against caste discrimination, and to stop caste discrimination, he basically proposed an idea, and that was that there should be intercaste marriages within government servants. Government servants are powerful people, so if they'll marry outside their caste, the rest of the population would follow them. So this idea was a novel one. He was associated with a wing within Congress party called Congress Socialist Party, and he was involved with secret Congress radio used during Quit India movement. Yes. And he was a contemporary of JP, Jayaprakash Narayan. So all D. Okay. Next. Consider the following statements. The teaching of Ramakrishna Paramhans dealt primarily with practical spiritual experiences rather than social issues. Swami Vivekananda founded Ramakrishna Mutt and Ramakrishna Mission after the death of his guru. Both Ramakrishna Paramhans and Swami Dayanand Saraswati believed in the same universal religious framework. Okay. So yes, Ramakrishna Paramhans believed in practical spiritual experiences rather than social issues. This part is correct. Swami Vivekananda, his disciple, Ramakrishna Paramhans' disciple, founded Ramakrishna Mission in 1897. But he did not create Ramakrishna Mutt. Okay, he just created Ramakrishna Mission. Ramakrishna Mutt was created by his other disciples, Ramakrishna Paramhans's other disciples. So this is false. Now, Swami Dayanand Saraswati, the founder of Arya Samaj, he basically believed in the authority of Vedas. Go back to Vedas. Okay, Ramakrishna Paramhans believed that you can achieve salvation or God through all religions. Okay, the destination is God, but there are various paths to it. Hinduism, Islam, Christianity, these are different paths. So his philosophy was universalist, more universal. So they did not have same religious values at all. Okay, so only one is correct. All right. Next, consider the following statements. Vedantic philosophy influenced both Raja Ram Mohan Roy and Swami Vivekananda. Swami Vivekananda rejected the idea of personal salvation. Ramakrishna Mission is purely secular body that rejects idol worship. Okay. So Vedantic philosophy is Vedant means the end of Vedas. That is Upanishads. We have covered this in ancient and medieval history, right? Brahmanas, Aranyakas, Upanishads. Now, Raja Ram Mohan Roy basically wanted to reform Hindu society, and he said, Upanishads are pretty acceptable. They don't contain any social evils, and it takes Hindu philosophy to its highest level. So he was really inspired by Upanishads. And same goes for Swami Vivekananda also. Vedantic philosophy is all about Upanishads, and Swami Vivekananda, Ramakrishna Paramhans, they were proponents of Vedantic philosophy. So this is correct. Swami Vivekananda rejected the idea of personal salvation? No. In fact, he took a middle path. He said, personal salvation is enlightenment, nirvana is something that you should strive for. But that cannot be achieved without social service. Service of the poor. Social service is important to achieve personal salvation. So he was in favor of personal salvation, but through social service. He called it Daridra. Daridra means downtrodden. Narayan. Narayan means God. Daridra Narayan. Okay, the social service. So this is false. Ramakrishna Mission, founded by Swami Vivekananda, was purely a secular body. Not at all. It supported Vedantic philosophy and it did not reject idol worship. In fact, Ramakrishna Paramhans was himself a priest. Okay, so this is false. The answer incorrect. Okay, so 1 and which are incorrect? 2 and 3 are incorrect. A. Only 1 is correct. Okay. Next. Consider the following statements. Lala Lajpat Rai supported the establishment of Gurukul institutions. Shuddhi movement treated the so-called untouchables as outside the Hindu fold. Now, Lala Lajpat Rai, he was part of the extremist faction of Congress, okay, moderates and extremists. Well, Lala Lajpat Rai was a follower of Arya Samaj. And Arya Samaj, Swami Dayanand Saraswati, they believed that we need to go back to Vedic way of life. He basically believed in Vedic authority, go back to Vedas. Now, during Vedic age, education was provided through Gurukuls, right? So, Lala Lajpat Rai supported Arya Samaj's initiative to establish Vedic style Gurukuls all over India. So, yes. But then Arya Samajis discovered that English should also be taught. Okay, it's not just Sanskrit and Gurukuls, English should also be taught. Education can also happen through English. English is an important language for international recognition. Therefore, Arya Samajis also established DAV, Dayanand Anglo-Vedic schools and colleges. You must be aware of these colleges, schools and colleges. So yeah, but Lala Lajpat Rai supported Gurukuls. What was Shuddhi movement? Well, Shuddhi movement was a movement to bring back various recent converts to other religions, Islam and Christianity, from Hindu, back to Hinduism. So it is not related, it doesn't call untouchables as outside Hindu fold. Well, they believe that people who, because of XYZ reasons, left Hinduism, they need to be brought back to Hinduism. This was Shuddhi movement. So only one is correct. Okay, next. Consider the